Did you know that after sex, it's important to urinate as soon as possible? This can help prevent urinary tract infections (UTIs), which are more common after sexual activity. According to a 2010 study, the most desired sexual act by straight men was, you guessed it, oral sex. On a similar note, 1/3 of Brits reported having experienced a sex-related injury at some point in their lives. The largest recorded penis is a staggering 18.9 inches long, but its owner says it's more of a curse than a blessing, claiming it has ruined his life. When it comes to pleasure, 37% of women admit to regularly using a vibrator with their partner during sex. And surprisingly, some women are even able to achieve orgasm solely through breast stimulation. How long should sex last? Well, according to a 2008 survey of sex therapists, sex lasting 1 to 2 minutes is considered too short, while 7 to 13 minutes is considered ideal. If you're still going at 30 minutes, most people think it's too long. Did you know some women have reported having an orgasm during exercise? It's estimated that 15% of women have experienced this phenomenon. On average, women have around 4 sexual partners during their lifetime, while men average about 7. But sometimes sexual dysfunction can stem from insecurities. How a woman feels about her genitals may impact her sexual experiences. Loving your body, all of it, is crucial for a healthy sexual life. At festivals, many attendees spend more time doing drugs, drinking, or having sex than actually watching the performances they paid for. Interestingly, women with higher testosterone levels may find themselves more interested in masturbation than in sex with a partner. And believe it or not, many new moms feel ready to have sex again before the 6-week waiting period recommended by doctors. The reason nipples are so sensitive? Nipple stimulation sends signals to the same brain region that handles sensations from the vagina, cervix, and clitoris. 75% of men report always reaching orgasm during sex, and studies suggest that good sex activates parts of the brain linked to falling in love. Sex is good for the heart too. Men who have sex at least twice a week can reduce their risk of heart disease by half, according to a 2010 study. If you've got an old condom lying around, toss it out. The shelf life of a latex condom is typically 3 to 5 years, and condoms kept in a wallet for over a month are more likely to break. Speaking of health benefits, having 1 orgasm a day can decrease a man's risk of prostate cancer. And if you're stressed, sex might be the answer. It's said to be 10 times more effective than Valium. Be careful when shaving down there. Doing so can increase your risk of spreading an STI. Curious about heels? A woman's butt sticks out 25% more when she wears them, enhancing the curve of her body. According to a report, 5.8 million women have used the morning after pill in the US to prevent pregnancy after sex. But even more important is regular visits to the gynecologist. Some STIs show no symptoms for up to 3 to 5 years. The clitoris has over 8,000 nerve endings, making it the most sensitive part of the human body. On average, people have around 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of mental chatter. And it turns out testosterone is a major driver of sexual desire, while dopamine, the brain's reward neurotransmitter, motivates us to seek out things we enjoy like sex. Studies suggest that sexual satisfaction is directly linked to overall life satisfaction. And here's a fun fact: the color red can increase appetite, which is why it's often used in food logos. About 1% of the population identifies as asexual, meaning they experience little to no sexual attraction. Your brain is more creative when you're tired because it's less inhibited by distractions. And last but not least, women's sexual preferences can shift throughout their menstrual cycle due to changing hormone levels. Interestingly, a 2012 study found that 30% of women report having experienced sexual fantasies about someone other than their partner. Fantasies are a normal part of sexual health, and they often enhance rather than detract from a person's relationship. Stress can reduce libido, so if you find your sex drive lower during particularly tense times, know that you're not alone. However, engaging in sexual activity can actually lower your stress levels by releasing feel-good hormones like oxytocin and endorphins. Here's a curious fact: men who masturbate frequently have been found to have healthier sperm quality. Regular ejaculation helps to clear out older sperm, which may improve fertility. On the topic of fertility, did you know that women's sexual desire often peaks during ovulation? This is due to hormonal changes, particularly an increase in estrogen, that signal the most fertile phase of the menstrual cycle. Now let's talk about kissing. The act of kissing can increase levels of dopamine, making us feel happy and connected. It can also burn up to 6 calories per minute, so while not a substitute for exercise, it's still a nice bonus. Ever heard of the afterglow effect? After satisfying sex, couples often experience enhanced emotional bonding that can last for up to 48 hours. This is largely thanks to oxytocin, also known as the cuddle hormone, which is released during intimate physical contact. Did you know that sexual attraction isn't just about looks? Pheromones, invisible chemical signals, play a big role in attraction, even though we can't consciously detect them. Some researchers believe that pheromones may help us choose a genetically compatible partner. Now here's something that might surprise you. Watching romantic movies with your partner has been shown to improve relationship satisfaction, likely because it promotes emotional connection and reflection on shared experiences. Ever noticed how people look more attractive in a dimly lit room? Soft lighting can hide imperfections and create a more intimate atmosphere, which explains why restaurants and bars often use dim lighting to enhance romance. While we're on the topic of attraction, the concept of mirroring, subtly copying someone else's body language, can make you appear more likable and attractive. It's a subconscious way of building rapport and signaling interest. Did you know that people who are more confident in their bodies tend to have better sexual experiences? Confidence is key when it comes to enjoying intimacy, and feeling good about your body, no matter your size or shape, can lead to a more fulfilling sex life. Laughter can be a huge turn-on. Sharing a sense of humor with your partner helps strengthen your bond and often leads to more frequent, enjoyable sex. People who laugh together stay together. Did you know that foreplay is just as important as the main act for many people? In fact, studies show that couples who engage in longer foreplay report higher levels of sexual satisfaction. This is because it helps increase physical and emotional intimacy, making the entire experience more pleasurable. When it comes to communication in bed, being vocal about your desires can actually lead to better sex. Research indicates that couples who openly discuss their sexual preferences and boundaries tend to have more fulfilling sexual relationships. Here's a fun fact: the simple act of holding hands can lower blood pressure and decrease stress levels. It's a small gesture, but one that promotes feelings of connection and security in a relationship. Ever wonder why some people are morning people when it comes to sex? Testosterone levels in both men and women peak in the morning, which can lead to an increased desire for intimacy during that time. So, if you or your partner are feeling frisky first thing in the morning, now you know why. And let's not forget about the psychological benefits of sex. Regular sexual activity has been linked to improved mental health, including lower rates of depression and anxiety. The release of endorphins during sex can boost your mood, while the physical closeness promotes feelings of comfort and emotional security. If you're curious about sleep, studies suggest that people who have satisfying sex tend to fall asleep faster and have better quality rest afterward. This is largely due to the release of oxytocin, which helps reduce stress and promotes relaxation. Body language also plays a major role in sexual attraction. Something as subtle as making eye contact can release dopamine in the brain, sparking feelings of attraction and excitement. So the next time you're feeling flirty, don't underestimate the power of locking eyes with your partner. Did you know that cuddling after sex can help strengthen your bond? Couples who cuddle after intimacy report feeling more connected and satisfied in their relationships. This post-sex snuggling time releases oxytocin, reinforcing those positive feelings of closeness. Sex dreams are another fascinating aspect of human sexuality. Studies have shown that both men and women experience sexual dreams, though women's dreams tend to be more emotionally driven, while men's are often more physically focused. And here's a quirky fact: people who exercise regularly tend to have better sex lives. Exercise increases blood flow, improves stamina, and boosts self-confidence, all of which contribute to a more satisfying sex life. Plus, it doesn't hurt that being physically fit can make you feel more attractive to your partner. Speaking of fitness, sexual activity itself can be a decent workout. Depending on the intensity and duration, sex can burn anywhere from 100 to 300 calories per session, making it a fun way to get your heart pumping. Ever wondered why people seem to be more adventurous on vacation? Travel is known to increase sexual spontaneity. Being in a new environment often leads to heightened arousal and a greater sense of adventure, which can translate into more exciting sexual experiences. Music can also play a powerful role in setting the mood. Studies show that listening to romantic or slow-tempo music can stimulate sexual arousal, as it relaxes the mind and sets the tone for intimacy. And here's something interesting about pheromones: they don't just affect attraction, they can also enhance the memory of a romantic partner's scent, which is why people often associate certain smells with love and affection. This is why the scent of your partner's cologne or perfume can instantly bring up feelings of comfort and desire. Lastly, did you know that self-love, both emotionally and physically, is key to a healthy sex life? When people feel good about themselves and their bodies, they are more likely to experience pleasure and engage in fulfilling sexual relationships. Confidence and self-acceptance can enhance everything from the emotional connection to the physical sensations experienced during intimacy. Your pubic hair increases your sensations during physical touch or intimacy. Like, comment, and subscribe from the wisdom of psychology.